Hi, in this video I'd like to share with you a couple of ways of working with AWS API from the Clojure code. As Clojure runs on JVM, the first obvious option is just to use AWS SDK, and that's what we will do first. So in your dependencies, you'll need a package something like this. For today, we're going to use S3 as an example, but if you're interested in any other service from AWS, there'll be a separate package for that, most likely. If we go to our example, it all starts with creating a client. And in this SDK version 2, how they call it, we have this modern Java approach, and all clients will have a builder that's like a static class, and then it will create a builder of this specific class of the service, in our case S3 client, and then you basically can chain some functions on top of builder to configure some parameters. In our case, we just want to set the region, but some other clients will require some other configuration params, and you can chain them like this. And finally, when you're done with configuration, you just call build, and it will return a client of this type, S3 client, and you can use it after that. So, for example, you want to list buckets that's available for the client, and there is a function list buckets. Annoyingly, if you, for example, using cursive, as I am in this video, it doesn't understand the type of this S3 client, unfortunately. So if I click go to declaration, if I want to check the implementation of this method, it's not working. To fix that, you have to add type hints. So you can do something like S3 client here. And after that, this should work now. Yeah, and I can now go into the Java bytecode and see the implementation. So yeah, let's see how that works. So I need to execute this entire let. And as you see in the REPL, we now have some results. And we can see that the response is this class, list buckets response. The easiest way to understand what's available is just to go inside here, and you can show all available methods. So I think we need this, just to have the buckets, and then it will be a list of bucket. And the bucket is the other class where you see things like name, creation date, etc. So let's do something on top of this. So what we want is buckets. Yeah. And if we execute this again, now we have the list of buckets. And as that a list, we can iterate over it. So we can do map and then function. And here we'll have an S3 bucket. And we can list over that. And let's say we just want names. So it will be name S3 bucket. Yep. Okay. Let's execute that once again. And now we just have list of strings, which is my buckets in my personal account. So if we want to get something else, like creation date, I guess was available, we can add a type hint here again from the s3.model, and we want to add bucket. So if I do bucket here, and after that, I'll have auto completion for the methods available. So we have this creation date now, and if I execute this, see that we now have the list of dates. Okay, let's see the other example, and it is for list objects. So let's say we want list objects v2, and we are using our S3 client again. And after that, The easiest way to understand what this method needs, what I'm usually do, I'm jumping into this S3 client and then I search for my list objects, right? A list objects v2, and we need this list objects v2 request. And it's same idea usually for these request classes. So you can do same as with clients. So we do builder here. So we have this builder, and then we will set something like bucket name on top of that. And I prepared this name for the bucket. And after that you do build. Let's call this. Yeah, and now we have a list of objects available inside the bucket. Again, you will need this. You'll need to understand what's inside this v2 response, but we can just check what's there, and we want objects. It's called contents, and then we'll have this S3 object inside. So we can do contents, right? And we can now map over the result. Let's say we want a fan that will have S3 object now. And I think it still have like a name method on top of that. So we have S3 object. Let's run it again. Nope, it's not name. Yep, so it was S3 object, and we I think we can go with key, right, for the object. So let's say we want key. Yeah, and now we have list of keys. So it's not that bad, right? And amount of Java interop is a bit annoying, but we can deal with that. So if you want all the features available in the official Java SDK from AWS, that's a nice option, and you can get used to Java interop. But there is another library available, and it's slightly different. It is called AWS API. The dependencies is here from Cognitect. So you will need to add API endpoints and then separate small libraries for all these services. Again, in our case, we'll use S3 as an example. And it will be much easier to work from Clojure with this library, as you can see right now. So let's jump into this namespace. So what we have is we create a client. We say that API type is S3. As we have the client, we can call different functions on top of that. An interesting thing is that you can use this library in the REPL to get some documentation and some help with the functions. So let's say we want ops, and now we have the return response of all available methods back. So let's see what keys we have there. You can see we have the list of operations that we can invoke on top of this client, which is really nice. And for example, we want list buckets, and we now can use this doc function to check the documentation of that specific method. And you see in the REPL now, I have the docs and also the schema for the response. It will be a schema for the request as well, but this function just don't have any input. So yeah, we don't have We don't have to provide any prompts. So to actually call the API, you use the invoke command, and then you have this operation name, and optionally there'll be a request. But yeah, as I said, in this case, we don't need it. So if we call this, we now have just a plain data, like Clojure map back. And now we can do, so let's chain this. We want to get buckets. Now we have the buckets back, and let's say we want to get names. So we want map, name, and that's it, right? Yeah, now we have maps. So we have much less code compared to Java interop, because we don't have to create all these Java classes for everything, instances of classes. Okay, moving next. Let's also do list objects, right? So let's call this one. Let's search for list objects v2, and that's what we want. And now we want to check docs. Docs s3 list objects v2. Let's call this. See, we have the schema for the response, and we have the schema for the request, and we know that the only required key is this bucket. So if we want to invoke that, we do AWS invoke, then this s3 client. We provide operation name, which will be this thing. If I just call that, I think we'll have an exception, right? And it says required key is missing from the request. And to provide that, you do request right here, and we want bucket. And I think no, I don't have it, but I should get it from here. Yeah, the name of the bucket that we want. Let's put it here and call it again. And now we have the successful response. And I think it will be, again, contents on the top. So we can do contents. And now we have the list of things. And yeah, let's just do the same as we've done in Java interop version. So we want map and we want keys from that. And now we have this list of keys, right? And code is quite nice, right? It's using some description of in AWS for the JS client to get this specification for the available API, and on top of that it generates this commands here. I really like the fact that you can just use REPL and explore what's available, and also that input and output is just plain data, so you can work with that in Clojure really easily. So that's two valid options. And I just want briefly to mention the third option that was available and was quite popular a couple years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So the library is called Amazonica, and I think it was using old and still use old Java SDK, and it do some magic and generates all these namespaces in Clojure library, use a lot of reflection, and it's doing some conversions. So for example, if you have camel case Java method, it will be lowercase with like kebab case, so like a Clojure look, but I'm just like personally finding that really hard to use, because you need to always map this keys that you write in Clojure to some docs in AWS SDK. And the source code of the library itself is not really helpful, because if you go to namespace, you'll see just like some macros or whatever that generates content based on what's available in SDKs. And it's quite annoying. So I think using SDK directly or using Cognitect AWS API library is much better option than Amazonica. So my final thoughts is just this: don't use it and stick with these two options. And also, I think it's still using AWS SDK version 1, and I just personally prefer the updated V2 version in terms of API much more. That's it. So it was pretty basic example just for S3, but the pattern will be almost the same in any service from AWS that you want to use. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and comment, and also please subscribe. There is also options to support the channel. There are memberships on YouTube, and also there is Buy Me a Coffee page and Substack where you can subscribe as well. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. See you next video. Bye bye.